Selling a home isn't cheap. The good news here is that all these closing costs are paid out of your proceeds at the close of sale, so you won't have to pay any of this out of pocket unless you owe more on your mortgage than your home is worth. Let's quickly look at what all the different closing costs are, then I'll go into a little more detail on what is involved with each of these costs, and finally show you an example of what all this looks like in dollars and cents. Here in California, we have 6 categories of home seller closing costs: real estate commissions, escrow fees, title insurance, county transfer tax, city transfer tax, and miscellaneous items. A good real estate agent should be able to provide you with a single-page document called a seller settlement estimate, or net sheet, that lists all these closing costs out in detail for your individual home. Real estate commissions. Sales commissions on a home sale are completely negotiable by law, but will typically end up costing you between 5 and 6% of the home sale price. Unfortunately, paying less than this amount may lead you to sacrificing service, experience, and ultimately a higher sales price for your home. This commission is split between your listing agent and the buyer's agent. While this can be a substantial sum, it can be helpful to keep in mind that this fee is fully tax deductible, which will offset your capital gain and save you on your tax bill. Escrow fees. Not all states use escrow companies, but we do here in San Diego and California at large. Escrow is a neutral third party that works for both the home buyer and seller. They receive, hold, and disperse all the various money and documents involved in a real estate sales transaction at the appropriate time. Who pays these fees can vary from county to county, but in San Diego and most of Southern California, the buyer and seller split these 50-50. In Northern California, one side typically pays all the escrow fees, but this is also completely negotiable. Title insurance. Title insurance protects the home buyer and their lender if they are financing the home from what are referred to as clouds on the title to the home. These clouds could potentially include liens for unpaid seller debts, unrecorded deeds to the property, unpaid property taxes, unrecorded easements, and a whole host of other challenges to the buyer's claim to their new property. There are often 2 title insurance policies involved in a real estate sales transaction, one covering the buyer and the other for the buyer's lender. The buyer should pay for the lender's policy. The seller often covers the owner's policy, although this is, like everything else, negotiable. County and city transfer taxes. Your local governments want a piece of the action whenever real estate changes ownership. That's what these county and city transfer taxes are. Sellers will often be on the hook for both. The good news here is that while California and most other states take a bite for this tax, not all cities in California charge a transfer tax. Miscellaneous items. These miscellaneous fees include things such as recording fees, notary fees, HOA fees, transaction fees, as well as reports and inspections that weren't already paid up front. Let's look at roughly what this would cost on a home sold for $1 million. Real estate sales commissions. 3% seller side, $30,000. 3% buyer side, another $30,000. Escrow fees. $3 for every $1,000 in the final sale price, so about $3,000. Then title insurance, sales price times 0.0032, so in this case $3,200. Then we have county transfer taxes, $1.10 for every $1,000 of the final sale price, so $1,100 in this one. City transfer taxes, depends on the city you live in this case there's 0. Miscellaneous items. This will always fluctuate, but let's say for our example, miscellaneous items are $2,700. So our closing cost grand total is $70,000. Again, most of these closing costs are negotiable to some extent, and I use nice, neat, round numbers for a tidy example because I like to keep things clean and easy to understand. But as you can see here, your closing costs, including agent commissions as a home seller in California, will run you about 7% of the home sale price. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, please follow me for other insightful tips on how to successfully buy or sell real estate.